Could our European partners?
Hillary Clinton testifies before House Oversight Committee. Hillary denies connection to Epstein. Bill Clinton to testify today. Here is all about the Clinton deposition. Hello and welcome. I'm Ellie Richardson and you are watching another episode of Explained with me. Today we discuss Epstein and the Clintons. Former US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has been deposed in the Epstein case. Hillary spent 6 hours speaking to the House Oversight Committee members. The deposition was caused after Republican Rep. Lauren Boebert sent a photo of Hillary Clinton in the room to a conservative influencer who posted it on social media, violating the committee's rules for depositions. The incident prompted the former Secretary of State to repeat her long-standing demand that the deposition be made open to reporters. The Clintons agreed to testify after their offers of sworn statements were rebuffed by the House Oversight Panel, whose chairman, Representative James Comer, threatened criminal contempt of Congress charges against them. But what has Hillary said? Hillary Clinton has once again denied any connection to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein after testifying before a Republican-led panel investigation the late financier's crimes. The former US Secretary of State said she had repeatedly told lawmakers she never knew Epstein. She also clarified that her husband, former President Bill Clinton, has severed ties with Epstein years before his criminal activities came to light. Clinton criticized the closed-door hearings, calling them repetitive and accusing lawmakers of protecting certain political figures. Clinton also called for US President Donald Trump to testify under oath about his own ties to Epstein. Despite the challenges, Clinton stated that she had answered all questions to the best of her knowledge, hoping the truth would eventually come out. Let's listen in.
I never met Jeffrey Epstein, never had any connection or communication with him. I knew Ghislaine Maxwell casually as an acquaintance, but whatever they asked me, I did my very best to respond. It was disappointing that they refused to hold a public hearing, so I wouldn't have to be out here characterizing it for you. You could have seen it for yourself. We had asked for that. We think it would have been better for the committee and its efforts to gather whatever information they are seeking. We had a bit of a challenge in the beginning because we had agreed upon rules based on the fact it was going to be a closed hearing at their demand, and one of the members violated that rule, which was very upsetting because it suggested that they might violate other of our agreements. So we had to cease the hearing for a period of time until we could get assurances that no rules would be broken going forward, and we returned to answer questions repetitively, literally over and over again.
Meanwhile, the top Democrat on a congressional committee investigating the crimes of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein says Hillary Clinton is answering questions from lawmakers in good faith during a deposition in Chappaqua, New York. California Congressman Robert Garcia stated that Clinton was fully cooperated with the investigation, clarifying that she is not refusing to answer any questions and is not taking the Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Garcia emphasized her willingness to answer all questions, although the deposition is part of a wider inquiry into Epstein's criminal activities. Listen in.
To be clear, she's answering all the questions.
Taking the Fifth at all?
To be clear, she's answering all the questions. I think I can safely say that she's not taking the Fifth. Mr. Garcia, last question. Secretary herself has said, Secretary Clinton never met Jeffrey Epstein. She never visited the island. She never flew on his plane. And she also had no knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein's horrific crimes. So zero knowledge of any wrongdoing. And you've also all heard that directly from her. Secretary Clinton is also completely cooperating with the deposition and the committee, and is answering questions in full faith and in good faith. That this committee has now set a new precedent about talking to presidents and former presidents. And we're demanding immediately that we ask President Trump to testify in front of our committee and be deposed in front of oversight Republicans and Democrats. And that should happen immediately. He is the person that appears almost more than anyone else in the committee, and it needs to happen right now.
House Oversight Chairman James Comer called Hillary Clinton's deposition productive and mentioned that she often referred questions to her husband. He confirmed that the committee would release the full video soon. Let's listen in.
And I think that this was a productive deposition today. I think we learned a lot. There were a lot of questions that we asked that we weren't satisfied with the answers that we got, but we will continue to move forward. Any of my colleagues, every member of the committee asked questions, and
I would just say one of the things I learned today is if you really have specific questions about the Clinton Global Initiative or the relationship between the Clintons and Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, you got to ask Bill Clinton.
And that's a great point. The number of times that she said, "I don't know, you'll have to ask my husband," was more than a dozen.
Now, former President Bill Clinton is also set to testify today. Bill Clinton's deposition was first requested for on October 2025 and later rescheduled for December. He declined to appear, citing a funeral. A follow-up subpoena set a new date of January the 13th, 2026, but he did not attend. Hillary Clinton's deposition was initially scheduled for October the 9th, 2025, and later moved to December the 18th. A subsequent subpoena set January 14th, 2026 as the new date, and she also did not appear. The Clintons have argued that the subpoenas were legally invalid and accused Comer of targeting them as part of what they described as a broader campaign of political retribution, aligned with former President Donald Trump. But earlier this month, the Clintons not only agreed to the depositions, but argued that they should be held publicly. This, they argued, would both Democrats to viewers across the United States that they had nothing to hide and minimize the politicization of their testimonies by House Republicans. The depositions come nearly 3 decades after then President Bill Clinton sat for a 6-hour videotaped deposition in the Paula Jones sexual harassment case, where she alleged Clinton made unwanted sexual advances towards her in 1991 when he was governor. But what is the House Oversight Committee, and what is it investigating? The House Oversight Committee is examining matters related to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and his network of associates. Epstein was an American financier and convicted sex offender who used his vast wealth and high-profile social connections to orchestrate a decade-long sex trafficking ring involving dozens of underage girls. In 2019, federal prosecutors charged Epstein with 6 trafficking minors, alleging he had operated a scheme in which underage girls were recruited and abused at his properties. He died in a Manhattan jail cell in August 2019. While awaiting trial, authorities ruled his death as suicide. There is no evidence of wrongdoing by either Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton in connection with Epstein. However, scrutiny intensified after Bill Clinton was mentioned in a major batch of unsealed Epstein-related court documents released in early 2024. Public attention was renewed again in late 2025 and early 2026, when additional records were made public under federal transparency measures. prompting new political pressure and helping set the stage for the current congressional inquiry. The House Oversight Committee says it's conducting a multifaceted investigation primarily centred around the activities of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. What was Bill Clinton's known connection to Jeffrey Epstein? Bill Clinton has acknowledged that he knew Epstein in the early 2000s. Flight logs and court documents show that Clinton flew on Epstein's private plane multiple times. A CNN analysis found that he appeared on the flight logs at least 16 times between 2002 and 2003. The former president has said that tips were made to tie to work for Clinton Foundation. He said he met Epstein through mutual acquaintances and maintained that their interactions were limited to those trips and related to meetings. In a 2019 statement following Epstein's arrest, Clinton said he was unaware of Epstein's criminal conduct at the time and did not speak to him for years before his arrest. Court documents unsealed in 2024 referenced Clinton but did not allege criminal wrongdoing. Additional records released later included photographs showing Clinton with Epstein and Maxwell, also showing a swimming pool in one of Epstein's residences. There is no public evidence that Hillary Clinton had direct relationships with Epstein or even involved in his activities. According to a report, her name appears more than 700 times in the Epstein files, with the majority being news articles about her 2016 presidential campaign that was shared with Epstein. She has insisted that she never met Epstein. She has also been questioned about her connection with Maxwell, primarily in the context of large events like the Clinton Global Initiative. Clinton said in an interview that she met Maxwell on a few occasions. Maxwell was reported to have also attended Chelsea Clinton's wedding in 2010. That's all for this episode of Xplained. Stay tuned as we bring you more in-depth insights and stories that matter.